A couple things before we begin. Big thanks to Ubisoft for sending me this review copy, and there's gonna be some spoilers. You've been warned. I won't show the final boss or anything, just bits of every single world. So, where do I even begin? I guess to start, I can't believe how much fun I've had playing this. Mario & Rabbids was hard to put down, and not because of the embargo deadline, but because of how addicting it is. And yes, I could care less that the Rabbids are in the game. I know a lot of people are going to ignore this title just because of the Rabbids alone, and I'm not a fan of the Rabbid characters either, but to tell you the truth, I forgot that I hated them. Very rarely did I find the Rabbids annoying. In fact, I thought they were quite charming sometimes. I'm not really gonna get into the story, because it's not that important to Mario & Rabbids. Just know that it's basic enough to get you through the 4 worlds in the game. Now, I know that 4 worlds doesn't sound like a lot, but you'll spend a long time in each one. Each world is from the Mario franchise, but they take it in different directions. As an example, the first world starts off with the usual grassy theme, but expands into a beach, and then a deep forest, and then to toys. This change in environment keeps things fresh as you're moving through the game. It's really nice just looking around and exploring thanks to the beautiful visuals. The colors really pop and the game looks spectacular. And the music, oh my god, is it glorious. The composer for Mario & Rabbids was Grant Kirkhope, the guy behind Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64, and Ukulele's music. The sound is rich and has a very nice flow, as you would expect from Kirkhope. But what about the meat of the game? Before I get to that, it's very important that you know that I don't ever play games like this. I can't remember the last time I played a tactical RPG, so keep in mind that my opinions are based off the perspective of someone that doesn't play this kind of thing. With that out of the way, the main combat was a blast. It took some time to learn the controls and the game mechanics, but once it all clicked, Mario & Rabbids turned into a surprisingly satisfying experience. There's 3 types of missions in this game. 1 is to defeat all the enemies or a certain amount of them, 2 is getting to a reach area, and 3 is escort missions, which is basically a harder variation of reach area. In a group of 3, you have to take out all the baddies turn by turn. You can take control of Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, and Rabbid versions of each of those characters. Interestingly, you must have a mixture of Rabbids and Mario characters, so as an example, you can't play as Mario, Peach, and Luigi if you wanted to. I'm not sure why there's a restriction to that, maybe it just has to do with balancing or something, I don't know. The baddies are really varied in design and functionality. Some of them can hop around all over the map, some of them have long-range attacks, and others are just giant brutes that can crush you in one turn if you aren't careful. The challenge and fun is figuring out how to wipe everyone off the map while keeping your team safe from harm. The more you play, the more you'll learn about the characters and what tactics they have. Each character has special abilities too. As an example, Peach can heal players from jumping off of them, Mario can grant extra attack power to every player, and so on. I know all this might come off as confusing to those that don't play these kinds of games, but it all makes a lot of sense once you start playing. And just as a side note, while in battle, you may occasionally see some pretty steep frame drops. These usually happen when there's a ton of things going on at once. This doesn't ruin the game for me, but it's definitely noticeable. I'm sure this could be patched pretty easily, and maybe it will be before the game comes out for everyone. On top of that, you also collect coins and orbs which improve your characters. You'll get most of your coins/orbs from winning missions. The better you do, the bigger your reward. The coins are used to buy new weapons, and might I say, the names of some of them are straight up hilarious. The orbs are used to upgrade a character's skills, so if you want to jump a little farther or move a few extra spaces for a turn, you can do that. The orbs and coins are very scarce, so you have to pick really carefully on what you decide to upgrade. Because of their scarcity, upgrading is really satisfying since you have to spend quality time in figuring out what will be best for your team. Outside of the main game, the worlds in between missions have a lot of side things to do. Of course, you could blaze through the hubs to get from one mission to the next, but by exploring, you'll find extra coins in chests. Inside the chests are goodies like music, models, and even extra orbs. Oftentimes, you'll have to solve a puzzle in order to get to the next area. At first, I didn't really mind these puzzles that much, but then I got to the last world, and that's when I started to dread them. It's not even that the puzzles were that difficult, they just took so long and kind of killed the pacing. However, there's very few puzzles in each world, so in the long run you don't spend a lot of time working with them. Besides the puzzles, the difficulty progression is great. Since I'm a noob with this genre of games, I played through on easy, and even with that, I was still struggling with the last couple worlds. What's nice about this game is that it's mostly your fault if you lose. There are a couple of tiny random elements thrown into the game, but for the most part, you have to strategize well and smart to make progress. At least it was for me playing on easy. I'm not sure what the difficulty is like on the normal mode. Mario & Rabbids is about a 20-hour game, and you can add another 10 to 20 hours with the extra content. After beating the final boss, you can go back through the worlds and explore places you couldn't access before, as well as try out several new challenges. If I can find the time, I want to go back and 100% this game because I've enjoyed it that much. On top of that, there's also a local co-op mode. While I didn't get to try the co-op mode with this review copy, I did play it with someone at a private Ubisoft event, and based off that experience, it was just as fun as the campaign, if not a little more so. The co-op mode has several maps to play on, and even cooler, the coins and orbs you get from it connect with your single player game too. This extra mode is great, but I really wish I could play online with friends. This is the perfect game for online play, and it's disappointing to see that not included. There's also Amiibo Compatibility. Now, I don't have the Amiibo for it, but what they do is unlock an exclusive weapon for that specific character. So in other words, people are probably just gonna buy the Amiibo because they like the design of the Amiibo. It's kind of annoying that some weapons are locked behind these, but personally, I don't really care that much. Something I've noticed is that people are upset about the DLC in Mario & Rabbids. If you haven't heard, there's a season pass that gives you exclusive weapons, new challenges, co-op maps, plus more story content for next year. As someone that's basically finished this game, I'm struggling on how I feel about this. On one hand, it really sucks that we have to pay more money for something as simple as weapons, but on the other hand, this game already feels complete. If I bought this game myself, I wouldn't have felt ripped off in the slightest, but I wish the extra story content was already in here from day one. So we started this adventure with leaks that nobody believed in to a real-life game that's actually pretty great. I would recommend picking this game up if you want something to play while waiting for Super Mario Odyssey. And please, don't be the guy that won't buy the game just because of the Rabbids alone. I assure you they aren't that annoying, and try to have an open mind going in. With that said, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments if you're thinking about buying Mario & Rabbids or not. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great day.